Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 8 news and spoilers. This is normally our Wednesday Walker segment, but with some scheduling conflicts, we've actually rescheduled this for Thursday. Usually Thursday works out really well for a lot of people. We are going to take a look at the overall schedule of a lot of different things that we do, anywhere from the random things with Preacher now showing some of the spoilers. The Wednesday Walker may get rescheduled, so just hold tight. We're definitely going to have an open debate around that. I'll probably post some information on the Facebook page and just maybe take a quick survey. So hopefully you guys are having a good start to your week. Well, actually a good end to your week. Man, I'm way out of it. So yeah, we're winding down. Hopefully you guys had a real good week, because I've gotten some kick messages. Some people didn't. So let's roll into the weekend, and I've got some good information for you tonight. It's not a whole lot of information, but I think it's very good information, and it's going to give us some insight into what is going to happen in the first 3 or 4 episodes, because we're hearing that it's going to be epic. There's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of skirmishes, a lot of showdowns. So those of you that made your way here, just want to say, what's up, you shout-outs? What's up, Jewel Deal? Laura Brown. Hello, Laura. Steph Richardson, what's going on? We had a lot of fun the other night with the random things. It was a lot more happy this week. So who knows what it's going to be like next week. Alexandria Bates, Jamie Taylor. Yeah, maybe Thursday does work well, because I'm seeing a lot of faces that we don't normally see every Wednesday. Tommy just walked out of work and just tuned it in. So Tommy, we got at least 30, 40 people that have not Lucille'd that like button. And if we're doing Fear the Walking Dead, you got to spoon it. If we're doing Preacher, you got to Genesis the like button. But you guys know that you got to Lucille that like button. So just a couple things. I will go over some spoilers, and I will call on, read some of your comments. So if you type anything in chat, just be warned that you could be a part of this video. So don't type anything that you don't want to include in a video. Also, when the video goes live, if you could check it out and leave a couple comments, that would be awesome as well. A little bit later on, I'll just talk about some of the other shows that we're going to do. So let's get this thing started. So here's the thing. These are spoilers, and I would say there are a couple different sources, and they are a little bit different, but the theme is going to circle around and be the same. So I'd say you can pretty much bank on some variation of this happening. Let me put it that way. 1 or 2 of the deaths are not confirmed, because there's some things that people see, and it could, go a couple different directions. But let's just do it. Let's go into it, and then I'll stop and answer a couple questions. So it is in the first couple episodes, might even be episode number 1. We've got Rick, Father Gabriel, and Gregory are involved in a scene. And here's the way this goes down. So apparently the RV is scorched at this point, but Father G and Rick pull up in the armored car. They are together. Okay? Rick, for whatever reason, takes a Polaroid picture of the sanctuary. I don't know, maybe he's going to use it at some point, the way Negan liked to use the Polaroid picture of all the people he beat down. The sanctuary is Negan's baby, right? So Rick takes a picture, I think, before and after of the sanctuary. So then there's a shootout that ensues. So Rick begins shooting at the windows, takes out a couple saviors. There's a little bit of back and forth. Now, this is where the timeline is a little bit wacky, because, and I'm not sure how this sort of plays out, because evidently Gregory is involved in the scene, but there was some interaction between Gregory and Negan. So I think prior to, there's speculation that Rick said something to Negan, like, are you going to come down, or do I have to come up and get you? I don't think Rick said that to Negan. I think Negan says that to Gregory, because what is being reported is that Negan throws Gregory down the stairs. And we've got confirmation that that happens. So something happens between Negan and Gregory. I guess maybe Gregory goes there to sort of sell out. Negan is not a big fan of that type of thing, as we saw with Spencer. So Gregory gets tossed down the stairs. Then this shootout evidently ensues. So Gregory, he's going to make a deal with whoever the closest person is. So while they're shooting, Gregory evidently runs out and starts yelling. And he's running to, Father Gabriel, basically saying something along the lines of, don't leave me, don't leave me. Rick does not trust Gregory. So Rick, and once again, this is pretty reliable sources. Rick says, don't waste your time with him. And Rick gets in and starts driving away. Father Gabriel has his own vehicle. So Father Gabriel is trying to help Gregory, even against Rick's warnings. But Gregory runs past Father Gabriel as Father Gabriel's covering him, gets in his car, and drives away. No, Gregory does not die. Gregory actually, I'm reading some of your comments, I'm going back in the spoiler. Gregory bolts in Father Gabriel's vehicle, leaving Father G behind. So, I'm going to go into, I'm going to read a couple of your comments. This is what we got up to this point, and then I'm going to talk about part 2 that happens with this. And it is very, I feel pretty good, number 1, about the sources. I feel number 2 because it is definitely in character. If you think about Rick's animosity toward Gregory, I could see Rick wanting to leave Gregory. If you've seen Negan and how he doesn't value traitors, you can definitely validate that Negan throws him down the stairs. Doesn't kill him. Gregory's a weasel. And then Father G trying to do the right thing, and Gregory leaves him behind, and Father G is stuck at this point. All right, so we'll take a couple comments. You're free to ask questions. I don't have all the answers to your questions, so if you go down the road and I can tell you, the data I have is limited, but I think it's very impactful. So if you were to ask me like, hey, Kills, who dies in this episode, I'm not going to have that confirmation just yet. So read a couple comments here. What's going on, Cynthia? Good to see you. I saw... Who else we got here? Negan made Gregory his slinky. Very nice, Steph. Also saw Ellie Valentine. Kills every time you do Walking Dead spoilers. I get super excited. Well, thank you. Glad glad we have some open forum and good conversation around it. I get excited for you guys to be here, so appreciate that and your interaction as well. Yes, Milos. I know I owe you guys comics. I know it. I know it. I know it. Kel, we're going to talk about Shiva at the end of this episode. We've got some pretty strong speculation. I mean, you guys have heard my prediction. I said Shiva does not make it past the first 2 episodes, and I'm going to stick by that, but we'll talk about that in 1 second. What's up, Nanya? Moody Girl. How you doing? Good to see you, Chris. Thanks all of you guys for showing up on a Thursday night. So we are... Great Dane, we are going to talk about Father G. I'm going to just read through a couple of your comments, and then I'll get to spoiler part 2 and tell you a little bit of what's going to go down with Father G. So Lindsay says, maybe Dwight dies because he's only been seen filming episode 1. Lindsay, we're going to get into that in a minute. I'm going to give you the other things. Simon's only been seen in episode 1 too, so I don't think that is. I don't think that means that Dwight's dead. I think their story is going in different directions. I feel pretty confident that Dwight and Simon will be filming quite a bit toward the second half of the season. All right, who's ready for part 2 with Father G? Just throw a 999 up in chat while I'm reading through some of your comments. E-Beach says, Gregory should be hung. Why the Dwight hate? I'm telling you. You're gonna be the first person to the front of the line when Dwight does something heroic. Lindsay's gonna be on that Dwight bandwagon by the end of this season. Write it down. Lindsay Luke will be a Dwighty boy fan. All right, we're moving forward with the second part of the spoiler. So, as the walkers, see, here's something else that happened. So evidently, Daryl is a part of the scene as well. So the source is saying that Daryl drove through the gate, and basically that's where all these walkers are. And it could end up backfiring. I think Daryl was kind of doing that for the sanctuary to get overrun, but now Father G is basically stranded. So the walkers start to inch closer to Father G, and he runs into a boarded up trailer. There's an alleyway. So you got the sanctuary, and then it looks like there's a couple of these construction type of trailers to the side of them. And whoever had seen this says there's an aerial shot of the walker surrounding the trailer as Father G is trapped inside. Doesn't sound like a scene from the Telltale scene, season 2, where they got stuck in the construction trailer and they had to climb out the top. It was like, who was there? Was it Sarah and Clementine and a couple people? Anyway, if you guys play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't remember. I just remember a little bit of the scene. I thought it was from season 2, and they got in this trailer. So maybe they're going to play it out like that. So Father G is evidently stuck in a construction trailer. Now, I don't know if the trailer gets overran. I don't know if someone's going to come save the day. That, to me, that'd be a great Jesus moment, wouldn't it? You know, Father G stuck in a trailer. Jesus does a little bit of samurai flipping, bam, 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 gets on top of the trailer, pulls Father G out, gets him to safety. That's all speculation. That is not confirmed. The only confirmation I have is Father G surrounded by walkers in a trailer. The Jesus stuff is just me thinking out loud. No, I'm not saying he dies. It's still in the balance now. In a couple of weeks, I'll know whether he dies. I mean, he could. Not saying, you know, this wouldn't be a, you know, an appropriate death. But, I mean, the irony that Jesus would save Father Gabe. Yeah, I mean, come on. Wouldn't that be epic? Kel, here lies the problem, is nobody is really watching Judith. And that's where Judith is going to be. I mean, we predicted that Judith would be kidnapped. I cannot confirm that at this point, but I still feel very comfortable about some of our predictions. And I'll recap some of the predictions that we had. Well, some of them were my predictions. Some people agreed and disagreed. But one of the predictions, I said Shiva would die before the end of the second episode. I've also said that... I'm reading a couple of comments here. Hold on. That Gregory... Some people were typing about Gregory. That Gregory wouldn't make it. Now, I'm probably going to be off on that one. I've also said that there would be some forgiveness going on with Dwight and Daryl as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. So, you know, there's some things that we're still speculating. We talked about Judith being kidnapped. We talked about Eric potentially being a traitor. I mean, these are things that are still, as far as I'm concerned, they're still live. And we'll start crossing them off as we get confirmation. Negan's going to feed Judith some more spaghetti. Okay, now here's where... All right, who wants to hear the Michonne? Rumors. Not spoilers, because these are different from two different sources. Some people don't want to hear it. I know it because there's such a strong Michonne following. You guys see when I'm serious I say Michonne. When I'm goofing off I say Michonne. I think these rumors are they're fakes. They're plants to throw people off, to get them talking about certain things. I'm going to tell you what I know. This is not my prediction. It is not my spoiler. But here's what we have heard about Michonne. Don't freak out just yet. Let me prelude this one more time. This is not confirmed because there's a couple different people. So there is a source that says they saw a female dummy, kind of like the ones they were using for Glenn and Abraham, with a gunshot of some type to the head with lots of blood. They speculated that it was Michonne with a bullet wound to the head. They don't know whether it was a graze. Now, here's the thing. Michonne was just beat pretty badly. So it could still be from that carryover scene. As I said before, I'm not going to confirm or disagree with this. There was an additional source that saw the scene that does not recall seeing the dummy or deny filming at the sanctuary. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Is there's a source out there saying that there potentially Michonne could have died at the sanctuary. I don't think so. I think, now, could someone else take a bullet? Absolutely. But source B says she was not filming and they don't recall seeing the prop. So someone's saying they see it, someone's saying that they never saw it and they don't think it's a factor. So that's why I said I think maybe it's a plant just to throw some people off. I would be extremely, extremely shocked after what Michonne just went through if she was shot. It ain't going to happen. So, but it's my job to let you know. Okay? Now, this is more credible. So, this is a different source. And this is where I talked about the dialogue. And the dialogue is where they said they think it's Rick saying to Negan, "Are you going to come down or are you going to make me come and get you?" Now, I think that's Negan saying that to Gregory. However, I think this happens just before the Gregory gets tossed down the stairs. Now, maybe Rick says this to Negan, and Negan needs a human shield, and he throws Gregory down the stairs. That could be the way it happens. But there's speculation, this is a very strong source, that Negan gets shot, possibly in the leg, and that's going to slow him down. Now, I don't know what makes Rick leave, if there's, maybe there's an explosion or something happens along those lines. But one source thinks that Rick is yelling up to Negan, "You going to come down or do I have to come and get you?" Gregory gets tossed down the stairs. Negan gets shot in the leg. Or Rick doesn't even make it in the sanctuary. So there's a couple different options for you guys to look forward to. As I discussed, Daryl is the one who leads the walkers into the area. And let's see, I've got one more. Let me go through some notes here. Okay, I think that's it. That's what we got for the first couple episodes. So let's recap a little bit. So we know that Daryl is he's driving the bike there, busts through the gate, walkers go in. The time frame's a little bit skewed because Rick does take a picture of the sanctuary. Rick and Father G are outside. There's a gunfight that ensues. Now, is the gunfight as Rick is leaving? Is the gunfight as Rick is making his way to Negan? So it appears that they take out some of the saviors. They shoot out the windows. Rick gets over to Negan, and either there was a scene between Negan and Gregory where Gregory turns on, or Negan turns on Gregory, tosses him, or Rick is going after Negan, and Gregory's there, and he gets used as kind of a shield and gets thrown down the stairs. Very believable. And evidently Negan gets shot somehow in the leg. That could have been from the gunfire back and forth. Could have been Rick shooting. But then Rick turns to leave. So something major has to happen. Either they get outnumbered, but they retreat. As they retreat, Rick gets in one of the armored vehicles and leaves. Father G has a different vehicle, and Gregory's running across saying, "Hey, don't leave me, don't leave me." Rick's ready to leave him. Father G covers him, and then Gregory gets in the car, drives away, showing he's a real snake. Father G gets stranded behind. So there definitely will be no relationship between Rick and Gregory in the future. We can discount that. And Father G gets trapped in a trailer full of walkers. Now, will Daryl save him? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Father G trapped in a trailer surrounded by walkers. Will he A, die? Will he be saved by Jesus? Will he be saved by Daryl, or will there be another person, maybe a Eugene or even a Dwighty boy that could save Father Gabriel? So leave your thoughts and comments right now. I'm going to say Dwight saves him. I'm going to go out on a limb because I am definitely Team Dwight. So I know I said Jesus in the beginning, doing the samurai ninja stuff out of nowhere because it would just be cool to have Jesus save Father Gabriel. But you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's Dwight. Lindsay says it'll be Daryl. Everybody thinks Daryl is going to go superhero mode. It's time. Watch all the people. Watch all the Daryl fanboys come in here. Daryl's going to save him. He's going to grab him off the top of the trailer, put him on the back of his bike, and ride off. Possible. Tobin says Gavin. Morgan will save him. That's from E Beach. I like, see, there's Kel. Oh, here we go. Okay, we got the Dwight. Look at that. Flower Girl says Jesus. Chris says Dwight. Jamie says Daryl will save him. Emmy says Dwight. You know what? I stand corrected. There's a lot of people that that would be nice. That would actually show that Dwight is Team Rick for real. I would love that. Yeah, because you know Dwight has tried to prove himself. Then he left the note, the little wooden figure for Daryl, and this would kind of be the icing on the cake. Yeah, Eugene, I don't think Eugene. I just want to throw Eugene out there. Denise is like, Michonne is not dying. I know Denise is a little bit more lag. I missed it. Somebody was fired up. I like it. I like Cynthia's passion there. Team Dwight. Screw Daryl. If Daryl doesn't die, we riot. There you go. That is, I'm with you. You know what? Cynthia she's got promoted on my list. Love the passion. We'll talk about Eugene in a minute. Tommy, I'll throw it out there. How about Eugene saves him? Eugene is such a coward. It would be amazing if Eugene did something that's not cowardly. All right. Well, you know, it's food for thought. Food for thought. I can't say it. Does give us something to think about. But if I had to really speculate and say what would be good for the story, I definitely think that a Dwight saving Father G would be great for the story. Redemption. Great Dane says, "Where's Rosita?" Rosita is nursing her baby right now. They're gonna write her out. They wrote her out the first 3 episodes, but apparently she makes her debut in episode number 4. All right. So if you guys have a little bit of time and you want me to go through who's seen filming, what we can speculate at this point, I'll go through to create a little bit more dialogue. So we got 75, 80 people here. Tommy, if we can get this thing up to 70 likes, then I'll go through the filming list and we'll talk about it. Let's see if we can get those 30 or 40 people that have not slapped the like button before we give the next set of spoilers. We'll pause here for a minute. Pause, take a breath and go for yours. On my command, now hit the dance floor. I guess I could rap until we get up to, all right, yeah, once we hit 70, then we're going to go forward with this. It's like sabotage. I'm holding these spoilers hostage right now. There we go. Now we're making some progress. Come on, you can do it. So close, so close. There you go. 8 more people can hit the like button, and then we will move this thing forward. Getting there. And it is 1 shy. There it is. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? All right. Now let's move on to the next. Thank you. Cynthia's like, hit the freaking button. Moody, do not block her at all. Just don't. She's amazing. All right. So here we go. We're going to go through filming confirmation. And with this being said, look, the storyline is still developing. So just because someone is not filming doesn't mean they're dead. But there are some people that it might mean they're dead. All right. Here we go. There's one person that hit dislike just because I held the spoilers ransom. You know what? If you don't like the stream and you can't like the stream, then don't even come into the stream. Duh. I mean, come on, man. I'm not here for cookies. I'm here for likes. All right. Let's start out with Rick. Rick has been seen filming in 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm only up to episode 4 at this point. Carl, all 4 episodes. No issues with Carl at this point. Daryl, 1 through 4. We're good with Daryl. At least a cameo appearance in all 4. Carol, 1 through 4. So no issues with Carol at this point. Maggie, 1 and 3. It appears that Maggie just wasn't written in to 2 and 4. Now 2 is very specific toward the kingdom. Well, not the kingdom, but Ezekiel, and we'll get into that in 1 second. And I've said before, I think 2 is exactly where Shiva is going to die. So let's get to that in 1 second. Michonne, 1, 3, and 4. So we know she's current. Did not film in number 2. Once again, I think that's a big Ezekiel scene, and I think that's going to be the scene where Shiva dies protecting Ezekiel. But hold on. Eugene has only been seen in number 1. I don't think Eugene died, but keep in mind, I did predict that Eugene could be a suicide victim. Now, it's possible. I don't think it's that early, though, but it is kind of odd that Eugene has only been seen filming in 1, and we do have a sanctuary scene in 4. So hold that thought. We'll see what happens with Eugene. Rosita, taking care of her baby. Rosita has been seen episode number 4. So obviously she didn't die in the first 3 if she's going to be back for number 4. Tara has been seen 1, 2, 3, and 4. Morgan, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Jesus, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to stop it right there. So of the people that I discussed, and I'll go through some more people, so please don't ask about, what about Simon? What about Gregory? We'll get to them in 1 minute. So the people I discussed, Rick, Carl, Daryl, Carol, Maggie, Michonne, Eugene, Rosita, Tara, Morgan, and Jesus. Most of them have been seen in 1 to 4. What are your thoughts of any of those characters that I just mentioned? And I'm going to call on a few people. Deidre Perkins says, Shiva is immortal. We're going to get Shiva in 1 minute, though. Rial says, episode number 1 is too early for a suicide. Yeah, I would, but it's going to be a 2-hour episode. And Eugene has, if it does happen, I think, as I mentioned before, I think it would be a social stance because of all the harassment stuff that he was getting on Twitter. I'm not going to say it's going to happen. But if it does happen, then I'm going to say that I said it was going to happen. There you go. See, that's the way these spoilers work. I'll say it, and if it happens, I'll take credit for it. There you go. I kid. I'm joking. We're not at Jerry yet. Crazy Morgan is alive. Morgan, all 4 episodes, so we're not going to lose Morgan. Yet. Cynthia is not a Tara fan. I am not either. I just have never been blown away by her character. Yeah, Lewis, I guess you got a point. Another suicide right after Sasha. Yeah, probably not then. But they do need to do something iconic. I agree with that. Yeah, Awesome Bro says Eugene is awesome. I feel bad. And the thing is, it's going to be so hard to get Eugene. I don't ever see Eugene being able to go back to Rick's group. I don't see the bro hug between Rick and Eugene the way that Rick and Daryl. I mean, how can you at this point? So Nunya says, do you see a death being iconic? Now, somebody brought this up in a previous stream. I don't think someone has to die for episode 100 to be iconic, but it does help sometimes. You know, we brought this up, is last year, as much as I hated the Glenn and Abraham thing, it is so memorable that from an artistic standpoint or from a, you know, did this episode mean something? Was it impactful? Absolutely. It might not have been what any of us wanted to happen, but it definitely is the most memorable of any episode that I've seen on Walking Dead. So I give them credit for the way that they wrote that. And it's not easy killing popular characters off. Not saying that's the way they're going to lead the season out. It could just be a bunch of just action and things happening, but it wouldn't surprise me if somebody died either. So Tommy's making a bold prediction that says Eugene dies. And I mean that would add some weight to it. If Eugene had an epic death, I think that would lend some credence to making it a little bit more iconic. Maybe Eugene saves face, maybe he does something. Well, Lindsay, and this is the thing, and that's probably what we could debate. No one needs to die for it to be epic. Maybe, maybe not. It depends on what your taste is. It depends on what you consider a good episode. If it's underwhelming, as some people said, and it's just, you know, Carl walking around with the gasoline can, and people are saying, oh, yeah, Carl, that looks like Rick when Rick was, yeah, it ain't going to do anything for me. I'm not going to walk back and say, that was really epic, the way they, you know, had that flashback scene. No, it better be something that's going to make me enjoy it, want to watch it. Ramp it up a little bit. And shocking things can make it more iconic, like when things happen that you don't expect, right? If it's a bunch of driving around killing walkers, yeah, it could be fun, but it doesn't mean we haven't seen it before. So they better do something if it's going to make it iconic. And this would be, see that, but there you go, Lindsay. See, you're saying Eugene sacrificing himself would be iconic. But then you just kind of said, but no one needs to die in order for it to be iconic. So I agree with you, and I agree with you in both fronts. But I think it's easier to make it iconic if they switch it around and do something kind of cool. Okay. All right, so, all right, let's go to a few more people. All right, so we left off with Jesus. So Negan, 1, 3, and 4. Dwight, episode 1 only so far. Dun, dun, dun. Just one. So has not been seen filming 2, 3, or 4. We'll talk about that. Ezekiel, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Aaron, 1, 2, and 3. Father G, 1 and 3. Enid, 1. Judith, 1. Gregory, 1 and 3. Simon, 1. And we'll stop with Jerry in this group. Jerry, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can confirm that in episode number 2, when Kilzhot made the prediction that Shiva will die, and Daniel will not die. I will talk about Daniel in 1 minute. Who else did I say was going to die? My prediction was Diana and Shiva will die in episode number 2. So we've got, and I'll go ahead and give you, Daniel's been seen filming in 1, 2, 3, and 4 also. We'll get to him in 1 minute. So Jerry, Ezekiel, and Daniel have been seen in all 4. Thoughts? Maybe Dwight just wasn't seen. Maybe he's like Ninja. It's behind the scenes. But it does. Here's the question. Simon, Judith, Enid, Dwight, and Eugene, all 4 only seen in episode number 1. Now, I guess it would be iconic. It's not going to be appropriate. Does Simon kidnap Judith? Does Enid take Judith to safety? Does Carl kill Simon? Does Daryl kill Dwight? Does Eugene sacrifice himself? So if all these people have only been seen in 1 episode, let's say what if? Just what if? This is our episode. We're going to make it iconic. Eugene, Dwight, Enid, Judith, and Simon all die. There you go. I'll just be as crazy as possible. Is it possible that we could have multiple deaths in episode number 1? I don't think so, but I'm just going to throw it out there and for debate, for something that we want to talk about. Jared is like just having a building collapse on Judith. That's not going to happen. Carol does not die. Hey, Ilham from Indonesia, thank you for being here. And glad you like The Walking Dead. And even more glad that you tuned in to 999 Gaming. Yeah, you know what? I mean, if we can say that Dwight only filmed in 1 episode and possibly Dwight dies, then how about let's discuss all the people that only filmed in 1 episode. I know there's other storylines, and not everybody's going to be in the first 4 episodes. But, I mean, if we want to talk iconic, Judith, Deidre, here's the thing. Judith is going to be a major part of this storyline. The general public, like myself, is so tired of saying, who's watching Judith? Where's Judith going? Oh, Tara's with Judith. Oh, Enid took Judith up to Hilltop. They wouldn't keep showing Judith if something wasn't going to happen around her. And I'm telling you, buckle your seatbelts. It is going to be major. Judith is going to be a part of the story. And what makes the most sense to me is Judith will be... That's about the only thing that you can do to Rick at this point to get him down a peg or two. Rick is not going to be sad-face Rick. Rick is ruthless Rick. But Rick's going to learn a lesson. And this is where the story has to go full circle. Okay? Rick sacrificed himself. He was ready to die for Carl the first time. The snot bubble, the tears, all of those things. Then something happened. Michonne, after seeing it and Rick walking around and just swallowing his pride and not being able to do anything and being helpless, you know, the scene where they were down in the basement where Michonne, we need to fight back. And Rick is a fighter now. I mean, we saw it, right? When he's down on one knee, Carl's getting ready to get hit with a bat. So Rick is accepting, I'm going to kill you. Not today, not tomorrow. You're already dead. He is focused. So the only way that we can get Rick back from just killing everybody and bulldozing everybody, you gotta get to his heart. He's okay. If Michonne dies, that's his love, but she's an adult. If Carl dies, Carl's an adult. Judith is an innocent little baby, and that's the only thing that can slow him down a little bit. Which is why I don't know how it's all going to go down. I don't know if it's going to be kidnapping or neglect, or someone's going to be moving Judith whenever they get ready to go into battle, and then they get taken. But mark my words, Judith will be a major, major part of this season's story. Guarantee it. Could be Eric. Could be somebody betrays Rick. But I'm having a hard time really focusing on that storyline. But it's going to happen. That's my tangent. I believe it. I feel it. I haven't confirmed it yet. But watch out. Come on, Lindsay, that's not true. First of all, because I know you're just kind of toying with me, Rick loves Judith like it's his kid. He knows it's Shane's, but that doesn't matter. Judith is as important to Rick right now, if not more important than anything, and this is where he's going to feel the regret, because he's so driven right now on revenge, and it's like, really? I did all this killing and I took my eye off of Judith? I wasn't a father for her. I wasn't there to protect her, and now look what happens. Major, major storyline. All right. We're going to move forward on a couple different predictions. I'm not. Westwick is like, you're the biggest Judith fan of all time. No, not the biggest Judith fan, but there's only so much that I want to see, like, where's Judith? And I hear it so many different streams, like, who's watching Judith? That it's a silly storyline, so it's going to have to ramp itself up really, really quickly. I don't think Judith is going to die. And Moody, I don't know if it's a question of, The Walking Dead will push the envelope, and it's not a question of who wants to see a baby die. I mean, the comic book, we know. And if they were going to kill Judith, hey, Enid has only been seen filming in episode number 1. All right, so we know from the comic book that Lori was running with Judith in hand. Could it stand to reason that Enid is watching Judith, Enid is running, and Enid gets shot in the back, and Enid and Judith die? Why couldn't they take the comic book story from that? Or, I don't think that'll happen, but I think it's a possibility. And it would be iconic, would it not? Would that not be something people talk about? Oh my God, did you see episode number 100? You know, there was all this attacking going on, you know, stuff flying everywhere. Enid tried to save Judith. She was running. She got shot, and both of them died. Now, for the comic book fans, we would be somewhat immune to it because we've seen it. But for the people that are hardcore TV show that don't know that happens, that would be shock television. That would be like beyond shock television. But I don't think it'll happen. I think more likely they're going to, I think they're going to show Judith grow up. And I know it's not as iconic. People are going to be like, okay, I like the other one kills. It's kind of, yeah, if that happened, that way they kill off Enid, and that'll set Carl off, and then, you know, that'll really get everybody going into all-out war. It's all about revenge. But because they've used, in real life, they used different people, and they used the twins, and all these different things for Judith's character, I think they're just going to allow her to grow up and continue to show her at 2 and 5 and 10, and just, you know, we follow a little bit of that story. But anyway, it's just an option. All right, I'm going to roll through the last people because it's going to create some dialogue and see what you guys think. Here we go. I don't know where we left this. I think we left it with Jerry. Jerry was the last person. Okay, Jadis, 1 and 4. Eric, 1, 2, and 3. But I think Aaron was 1, 2, and 3 also. So that doesn't mean that Eric dies. It just may mean that something's going on with Eric and Aaron that they don't want to show on TV in episode number 4. Daniel is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tobin, 1, 2, and 3. Gavin, 1 and 3. Jared, 1 and 3. And Shiva, 1 and 2. Leave your thoughts right now. Okay. First thing people are going to go to is Jerry, 1 through 4. Daniel, 1 through 4. Ezekiel, 1 through 4. Diana, 1 and 2. Shiva, 1 and 2. Episode number 2. Ezekiel hits an outpost. This is kilzhot speculation. Once again, prediction, not confirmed. But as we get more and more of these things showing who's filming, it's looking like I might be onto something here. They kill some saviors. They get overran. They get surrounded by walkers. Diana and Shiva both die. Ezekiel, Jerry, Daniel have to retreat. The 5 of them are together, and 3 of them have been seen filming, and 3 and 4, the other 2 have not been seen filming. So I'm going to stick by it and say Shiva is one of your iconic deaths early on. Now, the only question is, if it's an extended series, maybe episode number 2, I have to see if episode number 2 is going to be like Fear the Walking Dead. Because Fear the Walking Dead was basically 1 and 2 merged together. So if it's extended episode and it's 1 and 2, what if Shiva dies on the very first night? Which would be, we'll see. Gavin and Jared, that was one of my other bold predictions. And I said, I think in episode number 3 that I thought Jared would kill Gavin. I think in episode number 3 they're going to burn down the kingdom. Because that's where you see a lot of that storyline really take place. You've got, they could hit it in episode number 1, but I think 3 is where it's really going to burn. And Jared betrays Gavin. Gavin is a goner, and Jared becomes one of Negan's dudes. Just another predictions out there. Not spoiler, prediction. So we got a little bit of a mix tonight. Steph, did you just call Shiva a rug? That hurts. You tell him, Jared. See, we actually have Jared here, in case you guys are wondering, and he says that he will take over and Gavin is weak. So what else do I need? I mean, we got a legend among us. Jared's not going to die. Lewis, I disagree with you. I think Jared is that villain. They're on to something. Why kill someone that just irks the audience? You keep them around to keep people watching. You know what I mean? It's like, it just fuels the fire a little bit more. I like the fact that Jared's on there because I hate him. It's like, like the Polaroid guy. The longer the Polaroid guy's there, or Rapey Davy was there, it just it makes you want them gone more and more. And the writers know that. So Lindsay's going the other side of the table here and saying that Gavin will kill Jared. Okay, well, here we go. Let's throw it out there. I know. I'll leave it for the crowd to discuss. More feasible. Gavin loses it and has had enough and kills Jared, or Jared, who's been kind of made to walk home and bullied a little bit by Gavin, or Jared sees his opportunity and takes Gavin out. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Emmy says Jared will take Dwight's place for Negan. See, I see that as well, too. I'm telling you, me and Emmy, like, we connect on some of these. There's like 3 or 4 things. Maybe because we're both kind of Dwighty Boy fans, I think. Maybe that's why. And that's why I noticed the comments. But then I'm going to get somebody's going to send me on kick and say, Kills is always reading Emmy Bacon's comments. He never reads my comments. It's like, I don't know. It's like your eyes go to something that, when I see like Dwight's great, I look at it and I read it. If I see Dwight sucks, I probably see it and I just don't read it. Tobin says he could see that. There you go. Nunya says he could. Rial says, Jared is the one that set Ezekiel off. Gavin talks to Negan. What's up, Aussie? Silence. I'm waiting on a few more people to type their response. I just got a fist bump. See, that's the other reason. Like, Emmy gives me fist bumps. And some of you guys don't give me fist bumps. You just give me, like, a lot of flack. Ann Hodge is listening and eating an ice cream sandwich. So now you made me want an ice cream sandwich. So Harley says, nice, Emmy, but I like Gavin killing Jared because we already have a secondary savior to hate with Simon. What if Simon dies in episode number 1? We haven't seen him. We hate Simon, but why has he not been filming in 2, 3, or 4? You know, and I don't have a filming schedule for a Rot, sadly. She was one of the ones that was not included in my list. Sorry. John says, maybe Jared gets ironed. I don't think anybody else is going to get ironed. I think everything's happening too fast and furious right now. That whole structure in the sanctuary is going to fall really, really soon. So there ain't going to be no point system. There ain't going to be no barter system. I think the walkers are going to storm that place. Mary says, I promised myself I wouldn't join these spoiler chats. Oh, come on. Well, they're 50% spoiler, 50% prediction at this point. As we get further along, they're going to become more spoiler. AJ says, weren't the actors who play Simon, Dwight, and Gregory doing a movie together too? I don't know, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't fans of a Rod, I can tell you that. Lisa Bradley says, I think Negan will definitely kill Jared because he's a bully and calls the kingdom to join the fight. But wouldn't it be more likely that Negan would kill Gavin because Gavin's kind of weak and just, I didn't need all this stress. He didn't need the stress. We're going to war. Negan needs fighters. See, that's a possibility as well, Harley. Simon, see, I could see both things happen. I could see, what if Simon shoots Enid in the back and kills Judith? Then he'd become public enemy number one. Or, you're right, Simon could kidnap him, and that would take him out, at least for a little bit, because we got him in episode number one. Give him a little bit of storyline. We're all wondering, like, what happened to Judith? No, I don't think. I would be surprised to see a backstory. I think there's so many other things that they could go down. I don't think it'll be a whole episode. I mean, I could see him doing some of the history of Negan, but I don't think that's going to happen until he gets captured. And I think they would use that more as a tool to get you to feel sorry for him, so they wouldn't have to kill him. We discussed that a little bit in a previous episode. Like, there's not a lot of ways that Negan can get out of this thing without being brutally destroyed with all the things he's done. So, and that's from the characters and the audience. So if the audience is going to forgive Negan, you better have a real sympathetic backstory. And I still don't know if that's enough, because I think he's got to die. I know he doesn't die. I know the comic book situation, but it's going to be a lot harder for me to accept that on a TV show, because there's a lot of people. Rick would lose face with a lot of people if he didn't kill Negan, and I don't know if it's worth it. All right, a couple more comments, and we're going to wind this thing down. Wow, 57 minutes has flown by, like, already. So one or two more comments, and then we're going to do some shout-outs and talk about some future. Actually, while I'm waiting on you to type your comments, as I stated at the beginning of this video, spoilers are starting to come out more and more. I know it's summertime, and people are doing a lot of different things. We've tried to stay true to some of the live streams. We're doing right now Fear the Walking Dead spoilers. We're doing Walking Dead spoilers. We're doing Preacher reaction videos. Still doing Chill with Kills, and we're doing random things. And we're going to stay with that format. I can't promise you it's going to all be on the same day. So I'm going to look at the schedule and see what works. We may, if Preacher's going to be on Monday nights, we probably do the reaction after that. Then we may have to move random things to Tuesday, and then maybe move the spoiler chat to Thursday night, and then keep the other things the same. So I'll get more information out for you guys, but just make sure you guys are subscribed, and also that you get notifications. And we're probably going to stay pretty consistent with the same time as well too. So Flower Girl Kills, please talk about Maggie's baby. Don't really know at this point. I think the biggest thing with Maggie's baby is there's probably going to be a time skip, and that's going to be after, I would imagine, Negan gets locked up. The time skip would serve them well, because they could come back next season if everything happens by the end of the season and Maggie has a baby. And then they tell a little bit of the backstory, like, oh, okay. I think they could use that to show that the time skip happened, right? I mean, she's pregnant. Next thing you know, she's got, like, an infant. And then we can say, okay, well, looks like things have been pretty peaceful for, like, 6 or 8 months. And then that would allow the person to, if there's going to be a pirate, whether it's going to be Rosita or Carol or Tara or whatever the case may be, that would allow for that storyline as well. But I still, them keeping Negan alive is going to be tough for me to understand. So I'm anxious to see how they're going to do that toward the end of the season. And that is what we got. So thanks, everyone. Appreciate everything that you guys do. We will get back together and do this sometime on Sunday. So Chill with Kills, you guys are video game fans. Tune in Sunday morning. Be hanging out playing a little Walking Dead Road to Survival and who knows what else. And then Sunday night we're going to talk some Fear. And what I don't know at this point is if I'm going to do a fear reaction video. I'll do a fear spoiler video, but I could do maybe a reaction video afterwards. Then Preacher will do the reaction video to that as well too. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you guys spending your Thursday night with me. The hour is gone. We went through that. You guys are awesome. So if you're new, I like to do shout outs at the end of this. If you're not new, then you know how this works already, right? So thank you, Moody Girl. Appreciate you being here. Lucario, what's up? Jamie Taylor. Lindsay Luke. Lindsay's like my battle partner. I love her ideas, but we disagree on like everything. That's why I always look to her stuff and say, no, Dwight is going to live, Lindsay. You're wrong. But she's wonderful. So thank you for being here, Lindsay. Westwick, awesome bro. Tommy Sweet-Ass McCandless in the house. Turbinate Bug 90, what's up? Nunya. And Hodge munching on the ice cream sandwich. I'm going to go get me an ice cream sandwich now. You got me thinking about it. Salin Blue, what's up, Salin? Northside Queen in the house. Great Dane, I see you looking through my window. Cynthia Gibson, thank you so much. AJ Jepson, Carmen Trance. Kale says Smile is waiting on a... If you guys want to do a stream totally related to music where that's all we talk about, where there's trivia, me singing stupid songs and lyrics and just belting out whatever, then send me a message on Kick at KILZHOT or type a 999 in chat if you guys are just really, really down for some music, and I'll try to see if we can fit that in on a certain day as well too. So I look forward to your comments. Flower Girl, thank you for being here. Awesome, bro. I may have given you a shout out a little bit earlier. Mary. No, I actually love you, Mary. I don't. Mary's like, you hate me because of my Eugene. No, I love Eugene and Rosita questions. Speedy Marie, thank you, Speedy. Speedy is like, wasn't that the nickname of Oliver Queen's sister, Speedy? Comedy Cole, what's up, my dude? Thank you for being here. Walking Dead Girl is like an ice cream sandwich on a hot summer day. Yeah. See, you got beyond the popsicle shout out. Wow, there's a lot of people that want to see music. Even Jewel Dill. Emmy Bacon. Thank you for being here, Emmy. Gaming Squad. What made you choose 999 for your username? It's cool numbers. No, 999 is like an international code for help. And because I really want to do a lot of tutorial type of things, whatever. I want to do a lot of tutorials, and which is really the way I started out, and talk about different games and reviews. And one thing kind of led to another, which led to another, and spoilers and everything else. So 999 is just more of a place where you go when you need help with something. So that's it. Easy, right? What's up, Aussie? Thank you for being here. Who else is here? I probably missed about 10 shout-outs. If I forget you in a shout-out, just when the video goes live, leave a comment and I'll catch up. Steph Richardson, I know I forgot Steph. I even forget like regular people that are typing a lot. Because, you know, you get 100 people in here, it's hard to remember everybody. Don Fonzo. Jadis is not going to switch sides. Bridges are burned. She will never be Team Rick. Clemson Fan 96. What's up? Clem Fan. Halo 3, Graybot. Thanks for being here. All right, well, clearly we got a lot of interest. And a lot of the, hey, Gene Atkins, I missed you as well, too. I want to say what's up to you. A lot of our random things do have music themes, so I do try to fit that in. But, I mean, I guess I can piece something together where that's all we do is talk about music. Because what's going to be funny, hey, thanks for being here, Andrew Payton, as well. Blah, blah. Thanks for being here. Rial. I forgot Rial. All right, cool. We're getting caught up on everything. Oh, I think I missed Awesome Bro. Hope. I don't know if I can pronounce your last name. Kushak? I'll try it. Hope Kushak. Appreciate you being here. All right, let me go back to the drawing board, see what we can do with some of the music type of things, and I'll reach out to you guys. We'll see. We're running out of nights, though, right? Because we're all getting together pretty often. Thanks again. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful next couple days to start out your weekend. And I'll see many of you on Sunday. So peace.